Hello, my friends, and welcome again to another Mind Stiller. As always, I just try to be a vehicle, a tool, so that others can reach this thing called bliss. Even though there's shit happening in the world, in confusion inside of us, even me, even though I work so hard to have this connection with what I call higher consciousness, the supreme consciousness of the universe, that's what I call it. Some people call it God, some people call it the sacred, some people call it nature, some people call it just whatever they want to call it, the mystery of life. Even though I work hard to maintain that connection, I'm human, and you're human, and we're all humans who are listening to this. Your dog may be responding, saying, woo, woo, or your cat. But those of us who are humans know that we have our emotions. And I have discovered through trial and error and many decades of failing with my emotional being that my emotions are part of the spiritual journey. Our emotions lead us to where we are supposed to go. They're almost like those signposts coming up from our subconscious, or the wealth of information that this universe gives us. So when I have a feeling of uncomfortableness, discontent, or anger, or whatever you call it, it comes in many forms. I don't just sit on it or drink it away or drug it away like I used to, because I am a sober person for many decades now. I look at that emotion and I say, uncomfortable emotion, what do you want to teach me? Even though I'm in paradise physically, which I am right here, I am outside my window, I'm on a tiny island in Chile called Chiloé, and it's beautiful here, but yet there's an emotional thing going on. And so I have to do my work, my reckoning, to embrace this feeling and ask it and work with it and speak to it and say, what is it you want to teach me, emotion? What is it that you want me to do to eliminate the uncomfortableness so I can get back to feeling bliss? Satchidananda, the natural state of our human consciousness. Sat, Chid, Ananda. That comes from the yogic scriptures. To be in the state of knowing, Sat, Chid, to have the light of consciousness. It's illuminated. That's how we get to be enlightened, when we become illuminated. And Ananda, which is bliss. I like that. I like being happy. But I also like knowing that I'm human and my emotions are here for a reason. It's not just a matter of, let's push that button that teZa put up for another Mind Stiller and let's just go into nirvana. No, sometimes it's not that easy, especially if we struggle with addiction or being with difficult people or in a difficult political situation or difficult economics. Yeah, it goes on and on and on. And here I am in paradise. So what could be the big deal, huh, Tess? Well, it's within me. And I don't need to discuss the wheres and the wherefores. That doesn't matter. Each one of us has our own separate variables. But the common denominator is, among all of us who have human birth, is that we have emotions. And we must embrace them as our friends and ask them to work with us so we can be comfortable, get back into that state of bliss, Satchidananda. And so that means to have a dialogue. And I'm just going to share that with you in this mind stiller. I didn't really even know that this is what it was going to be. I just, whenever I have time, I offer these mind stillers, and whatever comes up, comes up. So today, I'm going to show you how I still my mind, because you have to have a quiet mind in order to work with what your emotions really are. They're a gift. They're signposts. They're measuring sticks. They're barometers of how we are spiritually. It's true. So the very first thing I do is to follow my breath, like we have done so many times in these mind stillers and any other meditation course or teacher that you work with. Just watch your breath, no big deal. Feel it coming in through your nose. Excuse me. Feel it filling you with light, with energy, with prana, the force of the universe, the force of life. And then when you exhale through your nose, unless you have a cold, watch as it leaves your body and merges with all in existence. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And instantly you feel a shift. The busyness of life stills and quiets when we follow our breath, because our busy minds are focused on something else besides life's crazy machinations, ins and outs, and all the different variables. For just a few breaths, we can go quietly into our own being and get rid of that frog in your throat. So once the body has stilled through watching the breath, then you look at your mind and you see, it's quiet there. I'm not worried. I'm not confused for this moment. And then you look at your heart and you see that it's wide open and filled with the joy of life, the gratitude of being alive. Otherwise, you would not be listening to this. You are grateful. You want joy. And now that all three parts of you, your body, your mind, and your heart are quiet and open, let's bring in an emotion that is troubling you. Don't go deep and dig it out like, from years ago. Work with this only when something's come up to the surface. Something's raw. Something's pushed your button. You know what I mean. It's when you go nuts from your own feelings. And instead of drinking it away or smoking it away or whatever, dancing it away or sexing it away or shopping it away or, eating it away, let's just look at that feeling. Bring it in. Bring it in. Have it sit right in front of you, right here. And say to it, feeling, you are me, I am you. What do you want to say to me? And then listen. Just listen. You might have to try this a few times, but you will get an answer. if you're honest, and if you are not stoned or drunk or, just bubbling over with all the shopping you're going to do or the sex you're going to have, whatever, you know what I mean. No distractions. It's just you and your feeling. So you ask the feeling, what do you want to tell me? Pretend it's sitting on a chair and it's got a body like similar to yours because it's your feeling. And the feeling might say, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you and you won't like it, but such and such and such is intolerable. Or, gee, I really have this amazing feeling that's going to be heightened if, or there's a choice here, the feeling saying, you can either accept that I'm going to be an irritating and constant part of you, like the way feelings are, and just accept that that is who I am, you are, or you can do something to make me not be there, like scratch an itch, or say goodbye to somebody that's annoying to you, or change a job that's really, really not for you, or tell somebody who has thrown you off that it's unacceptable and you must negotiate the relationship. And if it's negotiable, great. If it's not, then you have choices again. This can all happen in a mind stiller. So let's just be quiet now with me talking, and let's breathe together, and you bring up what it is that you want to bring up, and I'll bring up the feeling that I'm aware of that needs to be addressed. And it's just so simple. Sometimes the interaction is not even verbal. It's a feeling. The feeling communicates with nonverbal feeling. And at the end of every time you do this, the real thing you're left with is the moment that we have before us is so precious. Why ruin it with a bad feeling? Why smear it up with something that's a bummer? Why? It's pointless. So this is an opportunity for the feeling to melt and to be healed, to be acknowledged. First, it must be acknowledged for it to be released. And if it persists, let me tell you that the best way is to dive right into it. If it's especially a scary or angry feeling, just dive into it, like as if it's a well, a dark well, and it will take a lot of courage for you to do that. But once you have dove in, you'll realize by the time you finish the exercise that it's just a feeling. It's just something in your head. It's not real. It's a feeling that wanted to be addressed. So they're like puppies or kitty cats, our feelings. And sometimes they become like demons, but they must be looked at. And if they're unruly and if they misbehave, you must train them. You must say, feeling, you are not real. You're a bad little feeling that I have looked at and talked to, and there's no reason for you to persist. So you sit there and you be quiet, or I won't give you any bones or food or love. You must sit there until you behave. And the bad feeling will obey you, because love is what rules this universe. Even feelings are about love. We don't get enough. We don't give ourselves enough. You must love yourself. And then bad feelings will behave. They will. They disappear. Love is the healing balm for everything, my friends. I hope this was helpful. Until next time, Om Namah Shivaya.